Hello ladies and gentlemen. So today I have something a little bit different for you. This is War Thunder. So in today's video I have two simulator battle matches for you in the Soviet premium tank, or premium tank destroyer I should say, the Object 120. Now the Object 120 has a very formidable cannon. Has a long-barreled 152 millimeter gun. It fires armor-piercing, fin-discarding sabot, AP-FSDS, as well as heat rounds. Now, this is my first battle, my first ever match in the Object 120. So I'm carrying, as you can see down there, 11 heat rounds as well as 11 AP-FSDS rounds. Obviously the heat rounds have the higher penetration as well as the higher knockout punch, but the AP-FSDS rounds have much higher velocity, muzzle velocity. Basically they travel through the air a lot faster, so it's a lot easier to hit targets across long distances in this tank. Now, as I said, it has a 152 millimeter long-barreled anti-tank gun. However, in terms of armor, it's very lightly armored. It's actually, you could say, it has minimal armor for the tier that it's at. Now, this map was added relatively recently to War Thunder. It's one of my favorite maps in the game. Now, I normally like to come over here to the southern side of the map near Objective A and try to play around this area, basically deny the enemy access to this area. Now, what I'm doing here is that I'm trying to listen out for enemy tanks or enemy tank guns being fired. And there we go. I just heard a 105 millimeter gun going off, so there has to be something here, like a Leopard, or, and there we go, we can see it, it's a Leopard. And there we go, one shot and the Leopard 1A1 is down. Now, as I said, this was my first game, so I was pretty impressed with the performance of the gun on the Object 120. You pretty much knock out most targets when you hit them center of mass with the heat round, as well as the AP-FSDS as well. But as I said, the heat round has much higher penetration. We can see that hillside is being engaged. Now, I normally like to park here and try to deny the enemy this corridor. Again, I'm trying to listen out for enemy tank engines or tank guns and stuff like that. There's artillery coming in on that hillside. And I want to keep vision on this area as well, the middle area between Objective A and B. Now that smoke is being deployed by, I'm not sure if it's a friendly tank or if it's an enemy tank. Now, as I said, this is simulator battles, so it's a little bit more realistic. And oh, there we go. We can see a Leopard 1A1 again. Okay, shot to the side of the turret. He was very lucky not to die in the first shot, but I think we're going to get him now with the second shot. There we go. Leopard 1A1 down. Now, again, I'm just checking to see if I can hear anything.
We no longer have the advantage.
But the enemy now has Objective B as well as C. So we need to try and push towards B and maybe see if we can capture Objective B. And there we go, we can see that we're capturing Objective B. Now, as I come around the corner, bang, I get team killed by a friendly T-62. I have no idea how that guy didn't see that there was a friendly tank here, because I knocked out the two Leopards, obviously, But anyway, what can you do? So I've respawned. I'm heading towards objective B because it's been taken. The enemy's recapping it. But before I head straight for B, I'm just gonna stop here and see if I can ambush anyone. If I can ambush any of the enemy team members, players coming through this middle section. Now again, you have to keep an eye out both to the front and to the back. This is basically the middle of the town, the portion of the map which is the urban area. Now this is very, very risky. Poking through this wall and cutting across this road is very risky, because to the right is the enemy spawn basically. This is where the enemy tanks would be coming from. This is basically their spawn location. Again, I'm looking behind me, see if I can see anyone trying to make their way towards objective A. Now, one way to tell if there's a enemy tank or any other tank around you is to look for the track marks. The track marks, as you can see behind me. If somebody were to come down this road, they would know that someone has gone behind this building. So look out for tank tracks. Again, I'm trying to see if I can ambush anyone, but it doesn't appear that there's any enemy tanks coming this way. And as I said, this is practically their spawn points. They have 2 spawn points, and it's on that side.
Attention to the designated grid square.
And we have an enemy tank being called out by a friendly, but I have no eyes on it.
Guide on me.
Okay, so we can see that there's smoke being deployed. Now it could be a friendly tank deploying the smoke screen, so. Now because this is simulator battles, friendly tanks don't appear on the minimap. Now again, I'm looking out to the side and I can see, there we go, an enemy tank, a Leopard 1. We move out. Let's try and range find him. He's at 500 meters. And we fire. Now unfortunately he stops moving back. He stops moving back, therefore our round just impacts his engine compartment. Otherwise we would have got the kill. And that's it. Okay guys, welcome back to Battle 2 in the Object 120. This time we're on this map here. And normally I like to head up over there to the side on the east, and I normally try and set up there to deny the enemy basically the high ground, because that eastern side of the map is where the higher ground is, and if you allow the enemy tanks to take that high ground, they can shoot down to the middle and to the western areas of the map as well. Now in this battle, we have T-64s. So I'm guessing we're going to have M1 Abrams tanks on the enemy team. So already we can see that the Abrams have knocked out one friendly tank. Now it's very important to look through your binoculars scope to see if you can see anybody. And there we go. A friendly T-64 knocked out an Abrams tank, an M1. Normally I like to come around this rock right here and try and position myself looking over that choke point, that that opening between the rocks, because this is the location where the enemy will likely to come from their spawn. And it's quite difficult to spot enemy tanks because there's kind of like a dust storm, kind of a haze in the air on this map. So keeping distance is actually not bad. It's in your advantage if you want to, you know, stay stealthy. Now, lucky for me, there's this angulation, and I can basically go hull down here. Just keep my periscope out, and anybody coming through that gap, I will be able to engage without them basically even seeing me. This is actually not a bad place to be to set up an ambush. After all, I am in a tank destroyer. So again, 500 meters. It's good to have some idea of how far away the target is going to be. But as I said, if you're going to fire APFSDS in this tank, it's actually very easy to engage targets all the way up to 2,000 meters. And there we go. An enemy tank. Oh, and it's an M1 Abrams. There we go. We knocked him out. It basically, the heat round, impacted the weak point of the Abrams, which was quite unfortunate for him. It impacted his turret ring, and he knocked it out. So we're ready again. And there we go, another tank. Okay. And that ricocheted off the front bottom of the hull, but it somehow blew up underneath the tank and knocked it out. Again, this was another M1 Abrams, so that was interesting because the heat round ricocheted off the front lower glacis, and it basically impacted the ground underneath the tank, and it blew up the tank as well. So I'm counting that as a bit of a lucky shot for me. That M1 shouldn't have been knocked out like that.
Attention to the map.
But they have no idea where I am.
Attention to the designated grid zone. Attention to the designated grid zone. Attention to the map.
Again, we're just keeping an eye out on that gap, waiting for the enemy tanks to approach.
Attention to the map.
I'm practically hull down here, so it's going to be very difficult for them to see me as they come through that gap. Now we can see there's a friendly T-64. Okay, another tank. Ricochet. It's another M1. Now at this point, I was hoping that the T-64 is going to be able to knock him out. We fire again, but we miss. Now I have no idea how that T-64 wasn't able to get him. Now I move in, thinking that the T-64 has my back, because that friendly T-64 can engage anyone in front of me or behind me. So I try and move in. Now he should have been doing that, and I should have been the man covering from the high vantage point. Okay, and we get killed. And it's from behind. Okay. Now I have no idea what that T-64 was doing. He was supposed to be, you know, covering us, but we get killed. So I respawn again. And in simulated battles, if you're in a tank destroyer or in a medium tank, medium or light tank, you get 2 respawns. If you're in a heavy tank, you only get 1. Again, that IT-1 ATGM is engaging something. I have no idea what it's engaging from this distance here. Oh, it's firing across the map. Okay. Okay, I understand now. So he was firing at targets way, way away. A long way away. We have jets flying around, and to be honest, I had no idea if it was friendly or if it was enemy jets. So that's a friendly T-64 down. Aha, there we go. I can see something. Alright. Friendly T-64. Oh, there we go. Tracked. The M1 is tracked. Now the object 120 is not able to go through an M1 Abrams hull or its turret. You need to be able to hit a weak spot in order for you to penetrate the M1. Now we can see there's another M1 coming up here. I'm just going to try and wait in ambush for it. Let's see if he will take the bait. Okay. Has he seen me? He probably has. And he's run away. Now at this point I'm remembering the previous engagement that I had with the M1, where it went around and basically attacked from behind. So I'm preparing, and there he is. And I think I got a shot off as well. I'm definitely sure that I clicked, but he ended up killing us. So that's that. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this 2 War Thunder battles in the Object 120. Until next time, bye bye.